Hello and welcome to Science Sorta, your number one stop for everything you need to know about certain topics of science. Sorta. Now the topic of this episode of Science Sorta is rain, and more importantly, where does rain come from, what is rain's purpose, and where does rain go? It is the first question, where does rain come from, that is perhaps the easiest of the three to answer. In order to deduce the origin of rainwater, we must first do some scientific experiments. Now, this may be hard for you to believe, but rainwater can be tasted. In order to do this, we need to wait for a rainy day, step outside, point our faces at the sky, open our mouths slightly, and stick out our tongues a little. Now, we will be tasting rain. You may, upon doing this experiment, conclude that rainwater is not salty. That's correct. Rainwater and salt water are not one and the same. Now, we can draw many conclusions from this new information. 1. Rainwater does not come from the ocean, because the ocean is salt water. And 2. Rainwater does not come from the crying face of God, because crying is tears, and tears are salt water. So you may be asking yourself, if rainwater is in fact not salt water, and it is clear, fresh, non-salty water, then where does that come from? And you're one step ahead of the game, my friend, because I'm about to tell you that very answer. Rainwater, in fact, comes from the one primary source of non-salt water. Now tell me, have you ever experienced gardens? Because if so, you may have come across a watering can. Now, watering cans often are coloured green. However, they can be any colour and any shape or size. Do not let this fool you. They remain watering cans. If you were to take a look inside a watering can, you would, more likely than not, find a source of non-salt water, because gardeners tend to use this non-salt water to water the plants, allowing them to grow and flourish. And coincidentally, that is the same purpose as rainwater. However, no, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We still haven't concluded where rainwater comes from. Well, if you have put the evidence together, you will have come to the conclusion that rainwater does in fact come from a giant airborne watering can. That's right. There is a watering can above us all at all times, and whenever it so chooses, it will sprinkle us with rain. Now you may be thinking, that's all very well and good, but who built this monstrosity of a contraption? Well, ancient Egyptians. That's right. That is right. Because ancient Egyptians, as is proven with the pyramids, well, they can build anything, can't they? Now, moving on to the second question of the topic. What is the purpose of rainwater? Well, if you remember from the previous topic, the purpose of a watering can is to allow plants to flourish. Well, the purpose of the giant watering can is to allow humanity to flourish. Yes, that's right. Rainwater allows us to grow, so you should not avoid it. You should, upon being presented with a vicious and wind-whipping storm, you should step out and say to the giant watering can, I am ready to receive your water. Because upon doing so, you will be allowed to grow. Now, you may be wondering, well, why aren't people 10 feet tall already? Well, not that kind of growing. It allows our minds to grow. Yeah. How else do you think we have achieved so much in such little time. This era of technological boom that we are in is caused directly by rainwater, because without it, our brains and our culture and our everything would not have been allowed to grow to the state it is now in. Thank you, ancient Egyptians. Thank you. Now the final question. Where does rainwater go? Well, that in itself is extremely tricky, because rainwater does not really go anywhere, no. That's a misconception, a lie told to you by the government. They are trying to convince you that rainwater simply goes somewhere. Well, I will not believe any of this slander. No. No. Rainwater becomes us. Rainwater is everything we are, everything we used to be, and everything we will become. Rainwater is us. So there you have it. Now you know everything you could ever need to know about rainwater. I hope that you take this new information, share it with all that you encounter in your daily lives, and you become enriched. Stay tuned to the next episode of Science Sorta, where I will be discussing pencil shavings. Goodbye, scientists. Goodbye.